Did you know that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income or more? So even if you're getting to that first 6 figures, one of the key ways to do that is with multiple streams of income. A lot of people don't understand how to layer those in, but more importantly, they struggle with how to share them on social media. They feel like they're all over the place and it's just not cohesive with their brand, their messaging, their clarity, their visibility. So in this episode, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about multiple streams to multi-millions. We have, I want to say 30 some streams of income here at Gold Digger Girl Co. We've passed 8 figures in revenue. So I'm going to share with you going all the way back to when I first started and how I was able to build that up. So let's dive into the episode. So let's jump into today's content. And what we're going to be talking about is expanding to multiple streams. So the first thing I want to do is I want you to get out pen and paper if you don't have the workbook, because we are going to fill in some of the content here. So in 2019, the coaching market was estimated to be worth $15 billion. So you can fill that in the first blank there, or just put that in your notes. 2019 coaching market, before the pandemic, it was estimated to be worth $15 billion. If you said this industry, how much is it worth? By 2025, so right around the corner, coaching and digital learning. So not just coaching, but people taking courses, people buying digital products. That is expected to be valued at $325 billion. I've actually seen a little bit higher numbers than that, but it's ballpark somewhere around the $350 billion. What is that? That's more than a 10x growth. Is that a 20x? Yeah, that's over a 20x growth, you guys. Put a $ in the comments if you would like to be a part of that number, okay? If you're like, I want to get on that trade, okay? Think about it. When you were choosing college careers, right? What are you going to go to college for? Your parents, your guidance counselor, they were looking at good fields to get into, correct? It's the same thing here. This is an excellent field to get into. Coaching, course creation, digital products, anything online, okay, even affiliate marketing, network marketing. This is huge. No matter what industry you are in, learning how to build an audience online is crucial to attracting, so you can fill in the next blank there, attracting high quality prospects to you. Posting and praying is not working anymore. And also, it's not enough just to use ChatGPT to have it tell you 3 tips to help somebody with weight loss. Like, the stakes are higher because the amount of content that is out there has went crazy since the last few years. The amount of content creators out there, so many more. There's so many more people using social media for their businesses. So it's more competitive. Your stuff needs to stand out. You need to learn how to offer high value, not just regurgitated stuff that you see out there. Okay. So learning how to create high value content that gets people raising their hand, engaging your audience, and being able to control, knowing predictably that you can get leads from social media and close sales in the DMs. Okay. I'm big on that. No matter what you're selling, if you want to book a call with people, great. That's awesome. You can do that, especially if you have a higher ticket offer. But for most of you don't need to do that. You need to learn how to do that right through Messenger or through email marketing. It's not enough to have content for a course, so that's a blank there. Fill the blank in. It's not enough to have content for a course or have the desire to be a coach. You need to learn how to build an online presence so your audience is ready for and wants what you have. So you can use that interchangeably: course, a coach. Maybe you want to be, so you want to have a social media agency. Maybe you want to be a Facebook ads manager. You can take the word coach interchangeably with anything that you want to do. You have to learn how to build an audience. And this is the mistake I see with the majority of programs out there, because I've looked at them, I researched them, I study the market. And the majority of the programs out there, they teach you how to do the thing. So they teach you how to become, how to be a coach, right? How to work with people. They teach you how to do good Facebook ad management, right? Come take this course or program and learn how to be a Facebook ads manager. But the thing is, they don't teach you specifically how to get clients. They don't teach you how to do that through social media. So yeah, you spent all this money in put me in the comments if you can resonate with this. And it's not bad. There's skills that you gained from that. The missing piece though is the execution. It's actually learning how to get the clients. So that's what is missing for a lot of you. So it's not you, there's nothing wrong with you. You just have to learn basic marketing and sales skills. Powerful selling strategies. So the next blank is selling. Powerful selling strategies and building your loyal community will be your secret weapon for success. And this is important for people to understand. If you want to make money, you have to learn how to sell. The way that I teach how to sell is energetic. Okay, so it's an exchange of value, it's posture, it's your belief and conviction in what you have. I'm proposing that you spend $2,000 with me to come work with me for 6 months. I don't bet an eye when I say that amount, because I know the value in there is a million times that. Okay, we had someone just go through our program, and she came in. She actually didn't know me at all. She'd never worked with me, and she did an event like this, signed up, and she just closed $35,000 in business. And she is somebody who had a huge drought. She'd got stuck in her mind, kind of like what Heidi was talking about yesterday. She was stuck in her head, worrying about what people thought. She wasn't showing up powerfully with like the true essence of who she really is. And so when we started working on it, I figured it out right away. I was like, it's mindset. It's all mindset for you. You have amazing stuff to offer. And she was like, oh yeah. She just needed somebody else to tell her that. She's the one that went out there and she implemented. Okay. She's the one that implemented and closed the business. $35,000 in one month she closed. Why? Because she was able to have that conviction. So I know if I say, oh yeah, it's, $1897 for 6 months, I know for a fact that if you do the work and implement what you're learning, you will get that back tenfold. Can I make any income claims? No, that's actually not allowed. Can I make any guarantees? No, I can't, because I don't know if you're going to show up. Okay. We do everything we can to set you up to show up. We have the accountability in place. We have systems for all of that. And you still have to show up and do the work. But do you notice how I don't bat an eye? I have so much conviction in it. And I've seen what it's done for my own self, and I've seen what it's done for others. That's what selling is having conviction. It's an exchange of value. This is what I have to offer. You decide if it's worth it to you, and then we have a sale. Wouldn't it feel good though to have that confidence in yourself to be able to make sales online? Put me in the comments if you could just wave a magic wand and get one skill set down and just really tackle it. Would it be sales and making sales and it feeling effortless and it feeling good? Put me in the comments if that's you. I would love to know. Put that in the comments. So as we go through this material together, you're going to see how important that is. But we're really getting into that ideation phase right now. So first, and I told you guys, I told you this isn't just going to be about, multiple streams and ideas for things that you can make money with. We're also going to talk about a comprehensive approach to that. The number one thing I hear from you guys with multiple streams is you feel overwhelmed by that. You're just like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine having other things. Kimberly, every day, Kimberly, I don't know how you do it. And sometimes I'm like, I don't either. And I have a team behind me. We have tools in place. We have automation. All the emails that you receive promoting this workshop, a lot of the conversations, a lot of the links sent to you, a lot of the promotion behind it, I didn't have my hand in. So does that mean I'm going around telling everybody about every single thing Goal Digger has? No, we just had somebody buy our Instagram course yesterday. We weren't publicly promoting it right now. She randomly bought our Instagram course, and I went and looked, and she had found an old link from something somewhere, maybe a YouTube video. Never bought anything from us ever. So that's automation. How awesome is that? That she watched a video from, say, 3 months ago. She's like, oh, I want to get this course. And she clicked through and bought the course. That's epic. That's what you want. So all of this can be done, the multiple streams, when you get systems in place, when you get organized, and when you learn about automation and outsourcing. So we've put together some resources for you. So this is definitely something to print off or save onto your computer. Automation and outsourcing, tools and tips to manage multiple streams efficiently. So the automation tools we recommend considering are email marketing automation. So you're going to need one, email marketing automation. I've used many of them. We just listed a few here. We like to recommend Aweber for the beginner. Aweber actually is an email marketing service so that you can do landing pages and stuff like that in there. We do have free templates and resources in a lot of our programs. So if you've done our trainings before, you probably see me teaching on Aweber. We love it because it's beginner friendly and the investment is really low. So Aweber is actually designed for email marketing. So that's a great beginner one. More advanced than the one that we use as a company is ConvertKit. I can just do more things than Aweber can. I will tell you that we are in the process of migrating over to Go High Level, and Go High Level can be an all-in-one. So if you want just an all-in-one and you don't want to have an email thing here and all that, you can do it inside of Go High Level. Active Campaign is similar to ConvertKit. I have friends in the industry that use it and love it. So it's very similar, but again, higher investment level. And then I actually used GetResponse before we got too big for what it could handle. And I loved it. I thought it was super user-friendly. However, I would say between GetResponse and Aweber, I would choose Aweber because the landing pages and whatnot, I feel like are more robust as well. So it could kind of be almost an all-in-one for you. Now for social media scheduling, Social Planner is also a tool inside of Go High Level. We'll drop our affiliate link for that. Social media management platform. So you can actually schedule on multiple platforms right through Social Planner. And you can plan out far out. You can have it, I think you can have it reoccur, can't you? Where it reposts that for you, which can be great for Facebook group content, business pages. Those are great places to repurpose and repost LinkedIn. So Social Planner can allow you to create some of that repeat content. You can look at analytics and whatnot. Hootsuite and Buffer, and even later, they've been around for a long time. So they were designed, one of the kind of the OG scheduling tools out there. So you can look at those as well. And they're designed to allow you to log in and see all of your platforms in one space. And so you can see all the DMs, notifications, you can look at all of it. It's a little, my brain, I'm already ADD, so it's just that, but some people love that. So you could check that out as well. And I've heard good things about later as well. Oh, I love to know in the comments, don't poach anybody or spam our community here, but if there's any that you use and love or can edify anything that I recommend, please do in the comments. But if there's, like, for example, there's a bunch on here we don't have. We just wanted to give you a few so you didn't have too many choices. But Storito, that's something you can use to schedule your stories, for example. So if there's anything else you love, feel free to put that in the comments. For content management, CoSchedule is a way to organize and automate your content marketing. So it has a calendar and you can kind of see everything there. I mean, I know it's a bit manual, but I do love Trello, and we do teach off of Trello a lot because it's free and the visual is there, and we have the capability to plan out. We can't schedule to automatically post, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be nice energetically to actually hit that button and post something right in the moment. So Trello is great. I just love Trello. Asana actually has a similar feel to Trello now, or maybe I just didn't know it with their projects. You can set it up for it to look like a Trello board. So you could do that as well. And then Monday, I haven't used Monday, but I have had clients use Monday and they love it. Customer relation management. Most of you don't need this just yet, I would say, to this level. You could use something simple like Trello. And I don't know if it was in this Facebook group. I think it was in Fempreneurs. I did do a training on how to use Trello for your lead management and prospect management. So you can do something simple like that. But if you're getting to the point where you're like, I've got a lot of leads, I want to move people through a funnel or a pipeline, as they call them, Go High Level is epic. So if you are going to move to Go High Level, just do everything in Go High Level and you can actually manage your leads there. We used HubSpot for about a year and we actually phased out of that and moved over to Go High Level for that purpose. HubSpot was pricey, but it definitely was robust. I heard awesome things about Salesforce and Pipedrive as well. And then for financial management, we recommend QuickBooks. Tori's our finance manager, and she knows a lot about different ones out there. So if you are, I don't have like a hard rule for you, but if you feel like you have a lot of accounting happening, a lot of transactions happening, maybe multiple businesses happening, QuickBooks is absolutely a no-brainer. And I wouldn't necessarily do it yourself. I would definitely look at hiring someone to do that. Amy, that you heard the interview from yesterday, Amy Sedatal, she actually does bookkeeping for small businesses. So you can definitely reach out to Amy or reach out to her team. We can connect you with her. So hiring that out is worth the investment. So QuickBooks, FreshBooks is at $0. And then Wave is also Tori recommends Wave for those that are more beginner and maybe don't want to spend as much as something like QuickBooks. So Wave is a good beginner friendly way to manage your books, but you do want to do that. You don't want to wait till tax time and do that. You absolutely do not want to do that. That's like the worst thing that you could do. So pick one of those and get organized. You guys can see this. A lot of this is about organization. So there's two ways you can go about this. Okay. You can either hear what I'm saying. Oh, it's on the old page. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. This is what happens when I'm looking on my screen here. Okay. All right. So you can either look at this and go, oh my, that's a lot. Or you can say, wow, I've got some work to do and I can see how it's going to be worth it for me to get organized. I can see how it's going to be worth it for me to outsource. I can see how it's going to be worth it for me to slow down, to speed up. If you want to be able to have multiple streams and you really want to have like a business, you want to be a CEO of your own company, even if you're a solopreneur, you're going to need some tools. Otherwise, you're going to burn out. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to continue to do the stop, go, and you will not successfully add in multiple streams because something's got to give. Something will break. You will just be like, I can't do this. So if you've gotten into the I can't do this, or you've quit things, I know people who've burned it down and they just burned their business down, close everything down. I know a girl, she was doing multi-millions. She's a big YouTuber and she just shut it all down. She let everybody go, shut down her business, just couldn't handle it. Okay. Those kind of things happen because if we don't have, and I don't know her whole story, obviously, but I've seen it happen where people just, walk away from something. I just can't. You never want to quit on a bad day. Never quit on a bad day. Okay. That's not when you're making a good decision. So before we even get to that point of the bursting point, the burnout point, we can avoid all of that with these kind of tools. So since my screen wasn't on, I'll whip through these again really quick. So content management, you guys can see those up there: Co-Scheduler, Trello, Asana, and Monday. Customer relation management, Go High Level, HubSpot, Salesforce, and Pipedrive. And then financial management, QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Xero, and Wave. Okay, so just kind of look at those. What I want you guys to do is, I'll go back to this slide right here. I want you guys to jot down or circle. If you printed it off, that's easier. But if you have your notes out, which ones jump out at you? For email marketing, you might say, I just want something really simple. I'm just going to do Aweber. Social media scheduling, do you need to schedule some stuff? Maybe you don't need to do that right now. Maybe you just need to plan it out on Trello. Okay. Content management, maybe Trello. Customer relations, maybe you just use a prospecting tracker on Trello that I taught you, or maybe you're ready for something like Go High Level and putting your leads in there. And we'll have more trainings on Go High Level and all of that later on. Actually, we have some plans for that. So hang tight with us. And then financial management. Who here knows that you've been waiting until tax time and it's causing unnecessary stress? Okay. I used to be the girl who would wait until tax time and I would spend 3 days going through Google Sheets and importing my bank things. And it was a hot mess. Anxiety, stress. I missed a bunch of things. And one year I got audited and it was the worst experience in my entire life. I can't even tell you. I was so obnoxious and kept sending them more proof and documentation. After a while, they were like, okay, you're fine. You don't owe us anything. It was before I really launched Gold Digger. But I learned my lesson. Okay. That's not something to mess with, you guys. So outsource it if you're not going to do it. This is what Tori always says is if you're spending time doing things you don't enjoy or stressing you out, that's going to pull away from the things you do enjoy. So my job is to coach, create content, and cast the vision. That's my job. See, I'm coaching you guys right now through this. I'm lit up. Can you not tell? I love this. I could do this all day long if my voice would let me. I love creating content. I had extra time this morning. I was like, ooh, I wonder if I could whip out a mini course right now. And I was like, okay, sister, like simmer down. Ended up doing some tapping instead. But I love creating content, casting the vision. I think I came up with like 3 ideas this morning on things we're going to do for Q4. That's what lights me up. Those are my God-given talents. That's why God has me here. And that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what he wants. If I'm sitting here balancing spreadsheets and doing things that I don't love, it takes away from the things that I enjoy and I'm not making that impact. So it's possible part of the reason why you're not feeling lit up or fulfilled or overwhelmed or stressed out is because you're spending time on things telling yourself you can't afford it. That's BS. We make time for what's important financially. I've had people tell me, oh yeah, I can't, oh, I'd love to do your program, but man, we just spent like 15K on window treatments. I'm like, great. Like go spend the money on the window treatments. That's your choice. It's your choice what you're spending money on. And then if you don't have the money, you've got to learn how to make the money, right? It's a catch-22, but it's reality. All right. E-commerce automation, Shopify. So these are tools that you can use to sell things. Shopify, we actually use Shopify for our swag shop. So I've had great results with Shopify. WooCommerce, it's a plugin you can use with WordPress. I have sold things through WooCommerce. It's hard to say it. Way back in the day, and I loved it. And it was really seamless. BigCommerce, I'm not familiar with. Sounds like it's for has some built-in automation features. And then Zapier is actually something that can connect all the things. So we use Zapier a lot. We'll mention it again. With something like Go High Level and All-in-One, it's all happening inside, so you don't need those apps. But think of Zapier as something that's going to connect different platforms. So if you log into Aweber, and then you also log into, say, ClickFunnels, Zapier can make them talk and integrate together. It's really cool. So it's necessary if you have multiple platforms. And then marketing automation, this is some stuff you can do for doing some automation with your marketing. So email campaigns, lead magnets, things like that. So Marketo, Pardot, Autopilot, and Drip. I don't use any of these, but I've also heard some really good things with them. And then task automation, like I told you about Zapier. If this, then that happens, I think it is, IFTTT is awesome. So what you could do is tell it, if I post on Instagram, go ahead and post that same thing on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, right? So you're basically saying, if I do this, then this happens, but it has grown so much over the years of what it can do. It's wild. So if you're somebody who's really busy and you just want some of that repurposing happening in the background, you got to check that one out, and it's not expensive. So that's a personal favorite. Automate.io and Microsoft Power Automate. So here are tools and tips to manage multiple streams efficiently. So outsourcing, let's talk about some different things you can do to outsource. How many of you have outsourced work before? So you have a contractor or a virtual assistant, or maybe a small team or a big team. Let me know in the comments. So first one is freelancing websites. I've used Upwork forever. I think I told you guys that yesterday. Great website. So it's an awesome place. You can have any task outsourced, anything. Okay. I can't even tell you the amount of things we've had outsourced over the years. It's wild. Okay. Anything you can think of, you can have it outsourced. So Upwork, I would say between Upwork and Fiverr, Upwork is a premium site, meaning it's higher quality candidates. And it's just the way it's set up. It's definitely more of like work for hire. Where Fiverr, it was kind of a competitor of that. But the idea was that you could hire something up for $5. Most of them will say, they're on Fiverr, but they're starting at $20. You know what I mean? But it's still really, really cheap. I actually really like to look at Fiverr first, just for, if I need a one-off project done. For one-off projects, I think Fiverr is better. And then if you were looking for a long-term contract, I would definitely consider Upwork. And then Freelancer and People Per Hour are other ones as well. And then there are some virtual assistant ones. So Time ETC is a virtual assistant service for admin tasks, content creation, and more. Belay, they also have VAs for similar things. Fancy Hands, that's a really funny brand name. I like it. On-demand VAs, so that's nice. They're on demand. Another thing that I've noticed that you don't want to hire, you don't want that commitment, right? So you're like, I just don't want to have to commit to that consistent expense. So some of these are just on demand when you need a project done. And I also recommend, until you get in a groove, I do recommend hiring for the project and agreeing on the terms of the project before having them work for you. Because if you just say 20 hours a week, they're just going to fill that time up. But if you say, I will pay you this for this many pieces of social media content, it's by project, that is always a better exchange of value, in my opinion. Zirtual is also a dedicated virtual assistant website where you can find some great resources. You can outsource content creation with these websites: Scripted, Text Broker, Writer Access, and Catena. I don't know how to say that one. So these are awesome because you can find people who can write content, create content. So if that's something that you just find yourself not doing, Okay, that's another thing. You don't enjoy it. It takes your energy away, or you're just not doing it. So what is the alternative to that? You either don't do it and don't get your business out there and don't get leads and make money, or you spend the money to hire it out and have it done and get leads and get business. So you have to decide, okay? Graphic design, if that's not your thing, 99 Designs, it's been around for a really long time, has a good reputation. You have everything from logos to websites to branding projects. Design Crowd, Floxy, and Design Pickle are some other ones. Web development. So if you want stuff done with a website, for most of you, I actually don't recommend a website. I would rather see you get some good landing pages out there, some lead magnets, your sales page. Typically, you want to take people to one place. That's why it's called a landing page. It's the page they land on versus a website where you're like, here's everything about me. And they're just like getting lost and then they leave, right? The bounce rate is really high for websites, especially nowadays, because people just typically don't go to a website unless they're doing some research on someone to make maybe a big investment. So once you get into your business is established, you have revenue coming in, you're more in that higher ticket, or you have, I would say 5 figures a month coming in, then I would look at the website. But if you want one and you're just like, I just want a website, I want that professional thing out there and done, absolutely. Okay. So there's some different websites there, website developers there for you. And a website isn't just one and done, right? A website development is something that you will need to have maintained as well and updated as well as you grow or change things. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Hey, just have to interrupt this training to tell you something so urgent and so important. It's going to change your life. And that's the Proverbs Woman Virtual Summit. If you are somebody who wants to walk in wisdom, to be able to tie in your faith into your work and really at the end of the day, create wealth because it is biblical to be prosperous and abundant, then this summit is for you. I have the most powerhouse lineup ever. You can see the agenda and details below. There's a general admission. There's also an all access pass with some extra goodies. And you're going to be able to experience this with us live on Zoom, but you'll also get lifetime access to the recording. So look below this so you can get your ticket to the summit and I will see you there. So for the balancing act, the thing you want to think about with multiple streams for juggling multiple ventures is to be able to get really organized. And this is, again, the part that we talked about, it's tricky because getting organized doesn't come natural for most entrepreneurs. Our brains are very creative. I haven't seen like brain charts of it, but I suspect the activity is very different with entrepreneurs versus somebody who isn't an entrepreneur. Our brains are very creative and just a lot going on there, right? So to want to organize something that kind of goes against that natural feeling. And I will tell you, I am now very organized. I wasn't naturally, and it's the discipline to be organized is something I really value, and it's changed my life. I have a book I wrote because it changed my life so much called Why Balance is BS. You can find it on Amazon, and it's all about this because I thought, oh my gosh, other people need to understand that they can do this. They can wear the mom hat. They can have the business. They can exercise. They can take care of themselves. They can do all the things. You can have it all, okay? There are seasons. There are times when other areas of your life need your attention, and sometimes your business needs your attention. So understanding that is really important. And in order for you to have multiple streams, you have to be able to balance multiple ventures. Okay. It's not linear. Things are very dynamic when you have multiple streams. Being able to switch hats, move into, different focal points, depending on what's going on, is important. So the first thing you want to do is you want to prioritize your tasks. Okay. So I'm going to teach this to you. We teach this in one of our certifications we have that our high performance coach certification. We teach this in there because we do a lot with peak productivity and things like that. And I've done a lot of research on this and implemented this into my life and our programs. So it's called the Eisenhower Matrix. So if you've seen the matrix, think of got the sections there. So there's 4 quadrants. So there is urgent and important. So urgent and important are tasks that need your immediate attention, and they're urgent. So let's say you are about to promote something, you're about to go live, and you realize you don't have the link. Your VA needs the link to share it. Okay. And you're about to go live and they're going to be in the comments sharing the link. That's urgent and important. You need to get that link to the VA. That's a task that has to be handled. So it's not something that you can delay. It's important. The next quadrant is important, but not urgent. So put a little star by this one, or if you're writing these down, the important, but not urgent, these are crucial for long-term success. They have to be scheduled. And I will tell you, these are the things that people put off. These are the things that people tend to procrastinate on. So if you find yourself self-sabotaging, procrastinating, you know what you're supposed to do and you're not doing it, that's this right here. It's important, but it's not urgent. There's nobody there telling you to do it. That's what's really interesting about being an entrepreneur is there's nobody at the door telling you to go do the thing. It's up to you. And for some of you, that's the first time ever. You've always had a boss. You've always had other people you report to or people around you knowing what you're doing. This is different. So important, but not urgent. These are the things that are going to move the needle. These are the things that are going to change your life and change your business. And these are the things that tend to get pushed to the wayside, especially if you're not clear on why you're doing what you're doing, you're not organized, and you haven't worked on your mindset. Okay. But they're so essential. And then urgent, but not important. So these are tasks that require immediate attention, but can be delegated. This is where you're spending your time. When you should be spending your time in important, but not urgent, this is where you are spending your time in urgent, but not important. So you're just like, oh my gosh, I need to go and edit that workbook. Oh my gosh, I got to go edit the workbook. Somebody else can edit the workbook. What you need to do is go live and tell people why they want the workbook. Okay. Or maybe you're, designing things in Canva for something you're going to do next year. And you're like, oh, this is very important that I design this whole, all these graphics for this imaginary course that I haven't done yet, but I need to make the graphics. That kind of stuff is procrastination and self-sabotage because you're spending time on things that are not going to move the needle. And you are convincing yourself that that they need to be done. They're urgent. Of course I have to do these. No, you don't. No, you don't. Somebody else can do those. If you delegated that quadrant, urgent but not important, if you delegated that quadrant and you focused on the other quadrant of important but not urgent, can't make any guarantees, but I can almost guarantee your financial situation could change overnight. Now that is a powerful statement, but I know you believe me. I know in your gut, you're like, oh, it's like she knows me. I know you. I know you. That's what's going on. Let's change that. Okay. And then the final quadrant is not urgent, not important. Okay. So these ones, actually, we're not even going to delegate these. What we're actually going to do with these ones is our objective here is to minimize them or eliminate them. So we're just going to look and say, okay, this isn't urgent. It's not important. We're going to ask the question, does this even need to stay on the list? Okay. So as a company, we do something called Start, Stop, Keep. And so once a quarter, we go through this and we're like, we always come up with things where we're like, no, we're done. We're going to release that. Some of you are doing things just because you've been doing that for so long. Like you have your DMO, your daily activity tracker from 2020, and you're still doing all the things, sending the birthday messages. Maybe you don't need to send the birthday messages anymore. Maybe you have enough business, enough leads, enough people that are in your pipeline that doesn't make sense anymore. Okay, so not urgent and not important is an opportunity for you to assess and ask yourself, does this even stay on the list? Okay, creating a master schedule. So first thing we're going to do, step one, we're going to prioritize our tasks. Step two, we're going to create a master schedule. So there's obviously all kinds of tools out there. I personally use Google Calendar because of the repeat feature. I can put things on repeat. I can color code them. You can even take emails and turn them into tasks on your calendar. So it is a cool way just to kind of get it all together. And I know there's other tools out there that people love. So if there's something else that you love, awesome. Okay. And with Google Calendar or any tool here, what we're doing is we're putting together a master schedule. So I know every single week I have meetings on Monday with my team and some of them, certain people are on, some of them are one-on-one. I know that every Monday we have that. I know that every Tuesday and every Thursday, I'm typically coaching in a lot of our programs that we have. I know every Friday I am creating content for our courses, or creating courses, recording courses for our programs. And Wednesdays is kind of a flex day for me. So that's my master schedule. I know that I always go work out on these days. For me now, we have softball assessments on Saturday, so I soon will be loading in the entire fall schedule, which is can't wait. So that's going to be part of the master schedule. So I'll know practices, games, all of that. So a master schedule would also be where you do your time blocking. So what we would do is, for you, it might be Monday morning, you have an hour block where you batch record your content, your reels, any other things that you need to record. You create it, you record it, and then maybe you develop some of it. Okay, that would go on the master schedule every Monday morning. So when you go to the prioritize your tasks, what you'll see is that important but not urgent need to go on the master. They need to go on to the master list there. Okay. Okay, guys, no DMing and all of that. I don't know what's happening there. Okay, let's just move on with that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so with your master schedule, important but not urgent, what are the things on there that are important but not urgent? We want to put those on the master schedule. So content is a big part of that. Connecting, getting new friends on your friends list, going in Facebook groups and finding people there. Actually have an affiliate that she was so excited because someone came in, paid in full for the biggest affiliate package for the affiliate thing, and paid in full for the biggest package, sent her a DM and said, hey, I signed up. She never talked to her, but this affiliate has been posting in Facebook groups, letting people know about this awesome opportunity, connecting with people in there, and she had an awesome sale come from it. So are you planting seeds? That needs to be part of the master schedule. Is that making sense, you guys? It's almost the things that you aren't scheduling are the exact things you need to schedule and that you need to do. Now we're going to batch similar tasks. So I did do a whole training on how to actually, Abby, do you mind dropping the link in the comments? So don't go and watch this, you guys, right now, but just so you have it, you can save it. But I did do a full training, actually. It was really robust. It was all about batch recording and then also repurposing. So this is talking about, number 3 is talking about batching similar tasks. And that training will support you with this because I know a lot of you need to work on content production, but you want to batch similar tasks. So instead of being in Messenger all day long, you might do a 15-minute block in the morning and then check it and maybe quick at lunch and then one more time before you go to bed. Instead of letting your phone, all my notifications are turned off on my phone except for Slack because my team has questions throughout the day. So if I'm not available or seeing them, then they can't do what they need to do. Other than that, I have all my notifications turned off. So if that's probably why sometimes I don't get back to you right away, because I'm not a Messenger all day. I don't check emails all day. I have zero interest in doing that. So we're going to batch those similar tasks. I'll sit down and handle all my emails at once. I go into Messenger once, maybe twice a day, and I just knock everything out that way. Okay. Number 4, you're going to set clear boundaries. This is a big one for some of you, especially if you're a yellow personality. You struggle with boundaries, hurting people's feelings. You want to be yes to everybody, the friendly person. Oh my gosh, she's so nice. She just drops everything for me. Oh my gosh, she got on a call with me and it's Sunday. Like, no. Okay, set clear boundaries. People will treat you how you let them, including spouses and your children and whoever. People will treat you how you let them. I'm not going to buy into, well, you don't understand. You're letting them, okay? So with the clear boundaries with your multiple ventures, you have to set clear boundaries with others and with work and personal time. So if you're working all the time, then you're going to get burnout from work. If you aren't, your family doesn't understand that when you're on your phone, they think you're scrolling on TikTok watching cat videos. They need to understand you have to have that conversation. No, you're actually working. I know it doesn't look like it, but you're working. And I have this conversation with my children because we do travel a lot, and it's a wonderful blessing to be able to work and travel and do all the things. It's now to the point where I travel so much that it doesn't really feel like vacation. It just kind of feels like my life now. And so I explain to them when I'm on my phone, oh, I'm working on something right now. I'll be done, in a minute and then can come play with you. And that's important because my girls are understanding boundaries, and I'm not somebody who's just on my phone to be on my phone. It just doesn't work for me. If I'm on there, I'm doing something, I'm off. Okay. So you have to have those boundaries with your family, with yourself, so that way you can have that work-life balance. Number 5 is leverage technology and automation. So you want to take advantage of technology and automation, like we've talked about, using tools such as Zapier and some of these other ones. And you want to delegate and outsource, okay? You don't have to do everything yourself. You want to understand and identify what can you outsource. We've talked a lot about that, but I really want to encourage you guys to look at that, okay? We also have virtual assistants in our community. So again, if someone's looking for a VA, you can even say in the comments, hey, I'm looking for a VA. You guys are feel free to reach out to those people. That's fine, but don't go around like, you know what I'm saying. Just be respectful of this community. Okay, number 7, use the Pomodoro technique. So this is a time management method that involves working in focused intervals, typically 25 minutes with a short break. And then every couple of hours, you'll take a longer break. Okay, that's the idea behind it. You have, let's say, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break. That's an hour. Do that again. That's 2 hours total. Then you would take a longer break. So a 30-minute to a 60. And if you did that, and we've actually had students where they'll do timers. So they'll put a timer on their phone. I often do not disturb when I'm working on something specific where I have to like really focus. If I'm writing copy for a sales page or recording, I put my phone on do not disturb. That has changed my life, but putting a timer on will help you guys. So if you're like, I'm squirreling, put the timer on. Everything else is all the tabs. By the way, please shut down your tabs. Okay. You guys have way too many tabs up. Just saying. Okay. If your mind is like, oh, you've got to make it easy for your mind to process information. So we're going to work in short bursts there. Number 8 is regularly review and adjust. Time management is a work in progress. What's working, what isn't? Once a quarter, do that start, stop, keep like we do. Strip back your master calendar and ask yourself, what is this working for you? Okay. So I love doing hot yoga, and it actually means that my husband's handling all the girls' softball stuff for one evening a week. And I had that conversation with him. I really want to do this. This is when it would be, is that okay with you? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Because he's smart. He knows happy wife, happy life. And so I was able to audit, kind of look at our calendar and say, I'm not finding a good time during the day. I want to do it this time. So what's working for you? Ebbs and flows. Are you trying to work really late at night and you've got zero energy left? You're just tapped out? Then let's get you working on your business first thing in the morning and getting to bed earlier. Number 9 is stay organized. This space, or all the things popping up on your phone, all of the tabs, the apps, all of the things impact your productivity and your sense of calm and all the things. Clean your desk, clean your house. If your house is trash, how do you expect to be productive if your house is trashed? Take the time to clean it. Hire somebody. There's people who will come in and help you work through all the stuff in your home. Okay. And number 10 is practice self-care. Okay. Practice self-care. You heard it before. It is very, very true that there's a link between enough sleep and clarity, being able to focus throughout the day, exercise, all the things. With my nutrition background, I could go on and on about that. So I won't, but you guys know you need to take care of yourself. Okay. So can you do this? Yes, you can do this. And it's going to take you prioritizing here and being able to get organized and getting disciplined. Being disciplined is not a bad word. Being disciplined will absolutely set you free. It really will. All right, let's do a little work here. So, excuse me. Now what I'm going to have you do, balancing multiple ventures and prioritizing your tasks. So you're going to list your key tasks is what you're going to do. What are the key tasks that you need to do for each venture? Okay. So right now your ventures might be your network marketing business. Venture 2 might be you want to get that course out. You want to sell a course. Did you guys know you can sell courses passively? You make the course, maybe do a webinar that sells into the course. You can put it on Evergreen. You can run traffic to it even, and it makes sales while you're sleeping. So maybe that you're like, I want that. So venture 1, what's venture 2? List up to 5 ventures. Okay. Hopefully from yesterday's work, you have an idea of what you want to go after. So you might need to pull up your notes. Okay. So for your key tasks, what are some of those ventures? What are those, some of the things that you want to go after? Okay. Now what you're going to do is you are going to look at those key tasks, look at the ventures, okay? And the key tasks for the ventures, we're going to be thinking about what are some of the things that you need to do to be able to go after those key tasks. So we're actually going to give somewhat of a plan in place for what we want to pursue, which is super cool, okay? So we're going to categorize the tasks: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, not urgent and not important. So what you can do is you can say venture one, let's say affiliate marketing. Okay, it's your first venture. You want to really get good at affiliate marketing. You want to get it out there. So you say key task for venture one, affiliate marketing. You can just write it right here. And you say content creation. That's a key task, is developing a content creation strategy. Okay. And then you can look at categorize the task. Is that urgent and important? It's not urgent. We wish it was urgent, but it's not urgent. Is it important but not urgent? Do you guys remember that category? It is. It's important but not urgent. So it goes there. So venture one, affiliate marketing, develop a content strategy, is important but not urgent. It goes there. You guys see how this works? So it is kind of a heart-to-heart come to Jesus of like, it's a really honest approach to this. I'm really holding you accountable through this process. So what do you got to do to make the magic happen? Okay. Then you're going to look at some of these areas we've talked about today. Leveraging technology and automation. What are 3 tasks that you would like to automate? So maybe right now you've developed a free recipe book, and when people are asking for it, you've been sending it over to them in Messenger one by one, where you just give them a drive link of the PDF. You're not capturing leads from it. It's not automated. So task 1 would be to automate your recipe book, automate the lead gen on that, lead magnet, develop a solid lead magnet with the recipe book. Okay. So what are some things that you can leverage technology and automation? Maybe task 2 is you do want to find a tool or a way to create your content, get it all organized and plan it out. So content planning is task number 2. So now we're starting just to get a short list here. We're not putting a million things down, but we need to start thinking about what needs to actually happen for us to actually get results. Then we are going to delegate and outsource. You know, I love it. I'm going to make you do it right now. Okay, just kidding. You don't have to go hire anybody today, but we need to start thinking about what that would be. Often I'll hear people say, Kimberly, I would love to delegate and get a VA, but I don't know what to tell them to do, right? So urgent would be, Megan, urgent would be an email. An email pops up and it feels really urgent. That's urgent, like a notification. Someone comments on something that feels urgent. Yeah, so it should be urgent, absolutely, but it's not urgent. Like you don't have to do it right now. It's not in your face, it's not coming at you. And if you are like, no, it is urgent, it is important, then put it in that category. But urgent and important feels very much like I got to do it right now. It's almost like addicting. So when you hear that ping, 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 right? It feels urgent and important. Okay, it's that. There's a documentary, The Social Dilemma. That's a really good one to watch. And I love social media. I'm all about it. And it's not necessarily saying social media is bad. They're just kind of explaining the way that all the apps and all the things are designed. So that way we get kind of addicted to it, but also that reaction. So you can choose. So what you can do is you can do it for each one. So think of it this way. Get out your pen and paper, and I want you to get messy with it and just use this as like your framework. So if you wrote this out, so let's say, list your ventures out for me, Megan, so I can get an idea here, okay? So what you can do is you can say, okay, venture 1, affiliate marketing. What I need to do is my key task for affiliate marketing is the content strategy. Then what you can do is put the content strategy categorize it. Is it important, not urgent, right? Then out of all the ventures, all the things, what are some tasks that you could leverage technology and automation? So it's all of them. Yeah. Because think about it. One of your ventures, you might already be doing it. It's network marketing. It's up and running. You have a team. Your company does a lot of the stuff. Maybe you have a VA already. It's already up and running. Some of the stuff you're doing is already up and running. But there's things that you could implement technology, right? You're like, ManyChat. How many of you want to get into ManyChat, right? Okay. So we can absolutely think about different areas of the ventures, and some of them this will apply and some won't. So if it's helpful, get out pen and paper and kind of get messy with it. That's my favorite way to create actually is pen and paper. Okay. So think of the workbook as more of a guide to give you a starting point. And then delegating and outsourcing. So again, look at all the ventures. What can you delegate? So it could be, there might be something you really want to do. Let's say you do want to do an Etsy shop and you're really creative. You like to make the cups and you like to design the cups and you like to design shirts and all the things. But all the tech part of it, the Shopify store, or I guess Etsy shop, all of that, you're just like, yeah, no, thank you. I don't want anything to do with designing the listings. I don't want any of that. That could be a task that needs to be delegated. But then you might have another venture where there's nothing to delegate. It has to be you, right? Maybe you're doing a podcast. You have to record the podcast, but you could delegate somebody producing the podcast, editing it and producing it. This is for you guys. So weekly time block. And this is for you so that way you can do an audit. Okay. I love having students do this. It's like my favorite thing ever. Okay. Maybe not my favorite thing ever, but one of them. I absolutely love it because it's such an eye opener. Okay. So it's such an eye opener. You're going to get into it and you are seriously going to be shocked. Again, I can't make any guarantees, but we've had people find hours of wasted time. Put me in the comments if you have one of those days where maybe your spouse gets home from school or your spouse gets home from school. Maybe he's in school, but your spouse gets home from work, kiddos get home from school, and they're like, Mom, how was your day? And you're like, I was busy. It was good. I was busy. What'd you do? And you're like, I don't actually know. I was in my office the whole day. What did I do? Right? So when you do this time block, you'll see here, there's slots on here for 30-minute increments. And man, I even have, we have our team do it, but we also do this in the high performance coach cert. We go down to 15-minute increments. So just start with this. Angie's scared to do it. Yeah, it's so awesome. It really is. It's freeing. It's exciting. And actually, the first time I did it, I was working all the time. I would get up at 4:30. I would do my mindset, all the things. I would get the babies, get them up or get myself ready, get the babies. I would be at daycare at 7:30 a.m. First one there, fighting traffic for, an hour to get to work, hour and a half. And I did this and I was like, oh my gosh, like there is time in there, even with a really busy schedule. This is why busy people get more stuff done, right? So do the time blocking because then you can really see what is going on with that, okay? All right, Goal Digger, that is a wrap. As you can see, multiple streams are possible for you. You just have to have a good strategy around it. In addition, I want to invite you to our Proverbs Woman Virtual Summit coming up. We're going to talk about how to really tap into wisdom, work, and wealth that we can find right in Scripture. I have an incredible speaker lineup, so you can look below this episode for that. And also, we are going to have some amazing Black Friday promos, Cyber Monday. So I am putting the link to get on our email list below this video as well. If this was helpful, subscribe. You can browse the channel. There are tons of awesome playlists. We're going to teach you how to monetize your brand on social and make money every day. And I appreciate you watching. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire.